What's up, everybody? Emceemur here, and welcome back to the show. And if you've been watching the show, you know that it's been plug and play madness around here. I'm addicted to these things, and it's weird because I used to see these things all over the place, out picking and scavenging, and I would just pass them over. Sometimes I'd pick them up and mess around with them for a minute, but they usually just get sold or traded. But now I'm finding all kind of plug and play action everywhere I look. Some of it's old, some of it's new. In this case, we're going to be looking at some, not necessarily new, but still on the market, plug-and-play games from a company called MSI Entertainment. And these are getting less than stellar reviews. The first unit we're going to look at in this series is one that really makes me question how much the companies that make these plug-and-plays are really in touch with what games from back then were actually good, besides the obvious ones. I think they went for a license here and just went for the first game that popped up, and I still wouldn't know why it was this one. WWF WRESTLEMANIA Steel Cage Challenge. This was not a good game. I have all the wrestling games. All of them. All of them from back then. That's what I played the most of. Bad or good, I had them. I got it right here. The NES LJN. I mean, say no more. It was not a great game. And I can't really reason in my mind why you would want or think to make a plug and play of this. 25th anniversary? Is anybody actually celebrating this? I mean, it's so bad, I can't even remember how bad. King of the Ring, I think, was the absolute worst from them on the NES. But, yeah, we're going to get this thing open. We're going to get it plugged up. We're going to look at some gameplay. We're also going to compare it to the original. I want to see exactly what we're working with here, and more importantly, why we're even working with it. Won't you join me? So let's get this thing unboxed. And never mind this price tag. $20? No, sir. Not what I paid, although $20 is the standard price on these things. And Bed Bath & Beyond, of all places? Why are they dabbling in this stuff? But yes, that's where I found this and others. And they're on sale right now as low as $10 a piece. Put the coupon in there, that annoying 20% off coupon that comes in your circulars every other day in the mail. Yeah, that one. Get these for next to nothing. I got less than $10 in this thing. Let's get it open. And there it is, in a little steel cage of its own. We have a user's guide here. Can't imagine there'd be much to that. I mean, we're going to stick some batteries in this thing and rock and roll with it, aren't we? And there you have it, with the manual. I mean, the graphic on the top is cool. I like the steel cage thing going on. Buttons feel nice. You know, it doesn't feel too chintzy, but it's what's inside that counts. Joystick is nice and clicky. Nice bounce back. I've never played one of the units from this company before. Interested to see how this is going to do. Let's get some batteries in this thing and let's get down to business. So first off, there's been some changes made here, alright? I mean, we know it's the WWE now, and as you can see, they've changed the logo. And they've also added in the Ultimate Warrior here. They pretty much slapped his head on Hulk's body and kind of changed some colors around. Apparently there was a roster change for whatever reason, and I have to imagine that might be because of, licensing. Hulk Hogan and Hulkamania are registered trademarks of something else. They added in Ultimate Warrior and Razor Ramon, and they removed Hulk Hogan and the Mountie, which is really strange. I mean, there's probably no licensing on the Mountie, and I'm assuming wherever the Mountie is in this great big world, he could probably use a paycheck if this unit is capable of producing one for him. And there's Mean Gene, and rest in peace, Mean Gene. I'm still not over that yet. But let's get right into the gameplay. It's what you think it would be. I mean, it's exactly as it was back in the day, but again, I never liked this game. If this game had come out maybe 5 or 6 years before it did, it might have been something pretty amazing. It may have gone down into history, but there were just better things going on in wrestling games at the time. This just didn't do very much. While it had a good roster, it's a punch kicker game. All you can do is punch and kick. If you got a body slam in there, you were really lucky and you felt like you did something. You can do some foot stomps, an elbow drop, but nothing really custom. It's just really tedious king button gameplay, just button mashing and hoping for the best. And I gotta tell you, that gets really old. There's not much that would make you want to come back to this. So it really begs the question, why did they make this and why does this exist? And if there were licensing issues, and obviously there had to be, and if you had to go back in and reprogram parts of the game, change sprites or whatever, why would you even go through the trouble? It just really boggles the mind, dude. Looking at the cage match mode here, just so we can say we did it. Yeah, I mean, just looking at this isn't really different from the original, and that's a good thing if that's what you were wanting this for. It's doing its job. I don't have any complaints about this, like there's any quality issues or anything like that. There's just the roster change and the fact that you're using a joystick instead of a D-pad, which kind of feels clumsy, but then again, this whole game was clumsy to me as far as the way it handled, so not much to talk about there. Let's take a quick look back at the actual NES gameplay. So here's the NES title screen with the old logo and Hulk Hogan there for you. So this is what you're used to if you played a lot of this back in the day, if you remember this game. And we're looking right here in a side-by-side. There's just not a lot of difference in the versions, if there even is any. I mean, maybe the plug-and-play colors might be a little brighter. I don't know. Looks close enough to me. If you really liked this game, here's a way you can go back and play it if you don't have an NES, I guess. But, you know, a cartridge for your NES of this game is averaging about $5 right now. This is not an expensive game because it wasn't a good game, you know, and it really isn't an uncommon game. But I gotta tell you, I didn't think they had changed anything about the game. I noticed that the WWF logo was different on the outside of the box, but it didn't really occur to me that they would have went into the game and changed anything. I didn't remember Ultimate Warrior not being in the game, so it didn't really set me off when I saw him on the outside of the box. And I didn't check the roster on the back because I pretty much knew who was on the game. So I didn't know at the point that I picked this up that Hulk and the Mountie, you know, weren't on the game anymore. So it's a roster change. I mean, it's something different, I guess. It's another version of this game I didn't already have. And, you know, again, this unit's under $10, so I don't feel like I really lost anything here. It was worth it just to take a look at it with you right here on the show. But yeah, as far as the differences in the two, other than the roster change, I just don't see any. So there you have it. The WrestleMania Steel Cage Challenge plug and play from MSI Entertainment. I can't even say it with a straight face. Why does this exist? I mean, it looks cool. I like the graphic. You got IRS, you got Mach, you got Sid. It'll look neat on the shelf, I guess, but this was a terrible game, and it's not a reflection against the unit at all. Although I'm sure it got some bad reviews as a result of this game just being bad in general. It did feel weird with a joystick instead of a D-pad, because there again, the game's controls sucked anyway. It's a punch kicker game. It was always a punch kicker game. It's not a good wrestling game. It's a punch kicker game. You're going to punch, you're going to kick. If you're lucky, you might get an elbow drop or a foot stomp on somebody, but that's it. This was such a terrible game. It didn't matter who you were. Everybody was the same. They looked terrible. Why did you got the license. Why did you go with that? There wasn't a shortage of LJN wrestling games from this era. I mean, some of the other units from this company have more than one game on them. So I'm just wondering why this wasn't one of those. You could include this one, I guess, as long as you had some other, WWF action to back it up. and it doesn't have that. So again, I don't know why this exists. It's just bizarre. But for no more than it cost, I felt like it would be a neat thing to unbox and take a look at on the channel and compare side by side with the original. So some of what we do here on the Emceemur Show, it's fun to take a look at these things, but you know what? As always, I'm interested to know what you think about these things, interested to know about what you saw on the show today and what you think about what you saw on the show today. And I hope you're going to leave me a comment down in the comment section below letting me know what you think about what you saw on the show today. You know that I love getting a conversation going with you. I hope that you're going to like this video. I hope that you did like this video. I hope that you drop a like on this video. I hope that most importantly, if you have not already done so, you're going to subscribe to the Emceemur Show and be a part of Mur Nation. You know, obviously, there are more than just this unit out there. And as a result of that, I think we're going to take a look at more of these. There were a few of them on sale at that Bed Bath & Beyond. You know, I looked at what they had, and again, I think the whole store on these now is 50% off. So if you want anything in the way of a plug and play that they've got in stock, either online or in store, now would be the time to jump on that and get in on the action. I think I've got all the action I care to get for now. And again, we're going to take a look at some more of that action in the not too distant future right here on the Emceemur Show. Thanks again so much for watching. I will see each and every one of you again next time.